Good afternoon, ladies, gentlemen, boys, and girls. Welcome to the Host World Cup B-Stream, where we have an absolute banger on our hands, a barn burner of a match here in Challengers Group C. It is number 10 overall seed Chile, currently 0-1 in the group stage after a loss yesterday at the hands of Spain on a tiebreaker, taking on number 15 overall seed France, winners yesterday handily over Team Italy by a score of 5-0. A lot of group implications in this one that we will be able to discuss in hopefully just a moment. But first, want to say hello to everyone. Welcome. I'm this one guy. Joining me for this one is going to be Blank Tap. Good afternoon, Mr. Blank Tap, and welcome in.
Hello, and yeah, this is gonna make this group quite interesting to say the least. And speaking of which, regarding the tiebreaker, France does have plenty of information regarding the maps, while only giving a tiny bit to their opponents. Nomad 2, Nomad 5, and DT3 are the only maps that we see to be played the same on both sides, and it does seem that Chile has the upper hands on things like the DT3s and the Nomad 2.
Yeah, Chile, historically, right, has almost always been good at a few things, typically very good at speed, typically have pretty good reading rosters as well. You see players like number 37, you see Gonza. The speed may be taking a little bit of a backseat on paper this year, right? No more Mathy. And also losing out on Suntan this year, who's been a very consistent overall player for them. So see how they bounce back from yesterday's loss. In what is now, as mentioned, a super important match in this group. If France win this, the group is basically locked into who's going to get first and second, who's going to get third and fourth. It'll be France versus Spain to determine first and second, Chile versus Italy to determine third and fourth. If Chile win this over France, then all of a sudden you've got some very interesting scenarios playing out. It's going to come down to two remaining matches. There's going to be tiebreakers in play quite likely. So the group gets very interesting if Chile can rebound from yesterday's loss.
Alright, excited to see how the pick strategy here. I mean, on paper, Chile has the upper hand on the hidden side of things, but both teams didn't really play too much on it. Actually, France did not play any of the hidden maps, and they're gonna opt in for the number 4 ban instead, leaving the hiddens open for Chile to pick up.
And that's Nomad 4 banned out both times by France in their two matches now. Banned out Nomad 4 against Italy yesterday, banning it out here today again against Chile, who are switching things up with the Nomad 1 ban, which is an interesting. I don't know about you. I haven't personally seen Nomad 1 picked at all. I'm a little confused about that being banned out for such an unpopular map. But Chile maybe just not wanting to leave that kind of coin flip aim map up in the air for their opponents to pick into.
Yeah, I mean, in this map pool, there's not really any pure aim maps remaining. Hard Rock 1 is really just a consistency 200 BPM mechanics map with lots of sliders, so nothing to see there. So I suppose Chile not really feeling confident on those pure aim maps, but Team Blue diving head on onto this free mod 3 actually.
Yeah, I suppose you see your opponents banning out the pure aim Nomad, so you pick, one of the next aim options in the pool. There's Hard Rock 1, DT1, and this free mod 3 Deca snap aim pick down in this free mod pool. This was not a map that either of these teams played in their first match of the group stage, so this is uncharted territory for both rosters. And really, not a lot of aim played by either of these teams in their first match, frankly. No Nomad 1s played, no DT1s played, this one not played, so this is really a skill set that we don't know a lot about either of these teams, despite Chile going all the way to tiebreaker. No information for the skill set.
I think the Hard Rock player is gonna be the make or break point here. It's very comfortable on the AR 9.5 for the Nomad and Hidden players. The parents pretty debatable. It is quite awkward, but I think we're gonna see a bit of contestation in the hard rock side of things. So here we go. Good luck, have fun. We're about to start off very first pick in this matchup.
This is going to be a really interesting one to start this match off with. Definitely a map that, you know, the mod players, as you said, can be a little up in the air. Nomad should be locking things down. You expect to see maybe an FC or two out there for the Nomad players. So let's take a look at who's running what. And it does appear that it's going to be intercamming Chalk Gamer, the Nomads for Chile, with Alfew on Hidden, Sifs on Hidden Hard Rock. On the other side, Musty and Kalangi for France going into the Nomad, with Flasta going the Hidden and Hifgil going the Hard Rock only. Mod matchups key. Nomad players got to be locked in, those anchor Nomads. So let's see how it goes for them. Let's see how these teams rebound. Chile, despite losing yesterday, did have some better scores than France did in some of those picks. So they've got to take some positives where they can, despite the loss into this one, to try and avoid getting down on the mental side of things as they start the first map of a very key match in this group.
This map just keeps on going. There's basically zero breaks. It's aim, aim, and aim, and currently the first one to break. Kalangi with the first miss indeed, traded by Chalk the Gamer, and already that's one of each anchor down to 1D.
Indeed, don't love seeing the Nomad players breaking early on. Accuracy pretty even for them though, and across the board, of course, Ack on a map like this is going to stay quite high. Keying in maybe a little bit instead on those mod players. The overmod for Chile, the Hidden Hard Rock on Sifs holding well, but there goes Intercambing, who has been a star for Chile for so long, such a high skill cap player, but a break from him early on, followed by Chalk Gamer with his own second miss. Meanwhile, Kalangi has recovered, and the other three from France still holding their FCs for a 50k lead.
Hardcore players surprisingly looking ever so comfortable, much more comfortable than some of the normal players, funnily enough. But as I say that, if Kill will be kind of halting the progress of France building up their lead, and now things are going to be slightly more equal as we are just hovering around that 72k mark. But Sif breaks it out, no more hard rock combos, leaving only the hidden players and Musty on the normal full combo.
Yeah, Musty, you gotta feel, is just gonna be like locked and loaded Nomad FC for this for France. Such a consistent player, right? I mean, you can't ask for a player with more experience than he has in these World Cups, on number 15 now, I believe it is, or something crazy like that, for his Odoisi history. So he is locked and loaded, ready to go. Chalk Gamer, another break for Chile. And the double FC still holding for France against the lone FC of Alfew. Lead out to nearly 200k halfway through. This is quite a long map, of course, 4.5 minutes, so that gap doesn't grow quite as big as it might otherwise. But France in a pretty good spot thus far, with Musty Flasta holding on. There goes Alfew, the last FC gone for Chile, matched as well by a break from Chalk Gamer. And this is not a great opening performance from Chile, but it is France's first pick, so you would anticipate them coming out firing, and they are doing just that. A very good score thus far for their team.
Even if France did a quad miss per se, there's just not much combo reserve Chile to punish them for it. Intercamping at 800, but the remainder is the one closest being Sifs at 570. This is not going to be a pick where comeback is feasible. And we still have a quarter of the map left to go. All we can do is anticipate if Musty and Faste gonna get the double FC. Kalangi finding the miss, but it barely matters at this point.
Yeah, this is just really impressive stuff from those FCs on the France side. Hidden FC, probably the easier of the two mods, but still nothing to scoff at. And of course, Musty, as expected, holding down the fort on that no mod. This is going to look like a real solid team score from France overall as well. It's like we're going to see around 3 million plus maybe. There goes Musty. Finally, that FC does drop, as does Flasta. No FCs. I guess we spoke that into existence, unfortunately. You kind of hate to see that, the late collapse from France, but fortunately for them, irrelevant at this stage of the map. It's going to be a massive victory, 600k plus, and a very, very good team score overall as well.
feel this win on this map is going to cement the notion that France is just going to hammer down on Chile regarding the aim-centric pick. So probably going to see more of those. And for Chile, they did pretty well on the DT3s, those tapping picks. Probably gonna see them coming out guns blazing with the speed maps for their first pick, probably.
Yeah, it feels like we've seen Nomad 2 first pick in, I don't even know. It's a big percentage of matches have seen Nomad 2 as the first pick, or at least one of the first couple of picks. So absolutely wouldn't surprise me to see Chile go into that. It was picked against them yesterday by Spain, but they did have the better score than France across the matches. So would be a pretty reasonable pick, I think, from them here. DT3 is up there as well. That was the biggest gap between these two teams in their maps in common from yesterday, but it's going to be completely different. It's going to be Nomad 3. Chocolate to Disco, prepare to hear that for about 4 minutes straight, guys.
Yeah, they didn't do too bad, to say the least, on their last match, beating out Spain by nearly 1 million with a team score of 2.8 million. So I think they do have some weight in this decision. Not much is known regarding France on this map, so reading is definitely something to be seen from Team Blue.
Yeah, as we said, they had the Hidden 2 banned against them and Nomad 3 ignored. So really a skill set we haven't seen from them. Chile, we talked about before the match a little bit, right, has historically been a pretty solid reading team, whether it's hidden reading or even this Nomad low AR. So I can appreciate opting into this first, especially coming off a pretty good score on this yesterday. But France, especially with some of the team changes they've made, some of maybe you could say upgrades in certain areas to the roster, I think is going to be a team that is dangerous on a group stage pool across all skill sets, reading included. So I'm excited to see how this one goes, frankly. I think it should be a battle.
Yeah, I mean, looking at Sivs, the newcomer, at least for Chile, he is recently the part of the Easy World Cup for them. So I do think that he has the reading skill set on lockdown. However, let's see if he can do it under such a pressure of a World Cup. We're about to begin as we are seeing Flaste hopping onto the lobby and hopping out. And LBVI actually, what a fake out.
Yeah, Fie, good at a lot of different gimmick skill sets, so not too surprising to see him in for this. I don't know that you're necessarily going to see him on all the mechanics-y stuff, but definitely, somebody who's going to be able to play be able to play reading, be able to play tech, so not a big surprise seeing him coming in for this. Intercamming Alpha, number 37, Sifs, Musty Kalangi, Jordi Greep, quite the username there, and Fie on the side of France. And let's see if Chile can start off this match with their own first pick as strongly as France had a performance on their first pick. Definitely don't want to let the early momentum get away from them for Team Chile. So we'll look for an excellent performance on this reading pick here early in this match.
Just a bit of a reminder for everyone. The beginning of this map is the low air alongside the mixture of double and quad, some awkward pauses on the stacks, forcing you to always be vigilant. And these players, I mean, at least we know Chile have played this once as a roster. France on the other hand has something to prove right now. A bit behind in accuracy, but 8 full combos still on the board.
And this is a type of map where it feels like you need to be good to go from the very outset, and then you need to keep the concentration the entire way through. It's another one that's decently long, just shy of 4 minutes for a reading pick is, I think, pretty lengthy. It is going to be the early break there from Jordi Greep on the French side. 4FC's still intact for Chile, and they will have a bit of an advantage with the accuracy, as you mentioned, as well now as the combo. Let's see how big a lead they can build out in these early portions of this pick.
There's accumulating quite quickly this early on, already reaching 100k, which is usually monumental, going to the first PI section right now. These 4 full combos are putting in the work, especially when VI has found himself a slider break. France surrounded from all sides, a 4v2. This is looking to be Chile driving their lead forward.
It's a solid start for the first half of this match for Chile, looking really strong on all 4. The accuracy staying high, the full combo staying intact, and you know, it can't ever forget how good this team is on these reading picks, and they're showing it here. Musty goes down next for France, down to just Kalangi, and I don't want to say this map is already over, but this map is already trending toward over at this point. It's a 350k lead, and that's going to start to get really big because there is just not a lot of combo on the side of France. Meanwhile, Chile, they got a 4-way FC, man. They're just having a good old time.
The song is a 5 and Chile's on the dance floor indeed, reaching 500k as the last of the Frenchmen fall. Kalangi unable to hold the full combo, while Chile is still sparkling, shining ever so bright with the quad full combo still going on strong. Sif finally goes down, but Chile fighting fire with fire. They can absolutely increase this lead even more just as a victory lap with the triple full combo remaining as we go into the last KI section.
Right as you say that, Alfie falls into this next section, but it's still intercamming in the 37, holding on. Let's see, will it be a 1 million score gap here in favor of Chile by the time all is said and done? Ever closer to that margin. A very strong team score. Unfortunately, number 37 not going to manage the SS, but the FC still coming in from him into the last portion of the pick. Double FC perhaps here, Blank Tap, intercamming no 37 into the last seconds.
Just a bit more of these doubles. The patterns that we've been seeing from the very beginning to the middle and now at the end, intercoming with a bit of a miss, sadly enough. But 400k score improvement is indeed an improvement. 1-1. Very strong start from both sides.
1.2 million score in favor of Chile on that one. Just a demolishing performance on that pick. Really, really good stuff. And there is a little bit of other reading in this pool if they want to opt in to, I believe you have the hidden 2, right? So, you know, perhaps the direction to go. We mentioned, you know, the hiddens both being available after bans for Team Chile to pick into if they so choose. We'll see if they do that. France, meanwhile, the next pick. They won on that free mod 3. Do we continue in more aim? Do we go something like the Hard Rock 1? Maybe even the DT 1 if they feel comfortable with it? Or, elsewise, it'll be something a little different. Hard to say.
Definitely a bit up in the air, but that is quite an obvious way to move forward. I think something that is going to be seen at the late game is probably a bit of a clash on the number 5. France beating out Chile scored by 160k if you compare them last match. So probably a gamble that they probably wanna take in one of their 4 picks, but DT2 is something else. Oh my.
I will say, you know, France won 5-0 yesterday. They only had 2 picks. Their 2 picks in that match were DT2 and Nomad 2. So they were feeling, and continue, it appears to feel, very good about the speed picks. And this was banned out by Chile themselves yesterday. So the logic is sound here for picking this particular map. I get it.
But they were facing Spain though, and that is quite scary of an assumption to make in the side of France. Are they good enough as Spain on the speed part? We shall see. This is gonna be very interesting, as they did actually, if you compare the scores once again, they did lose by about 200k, very close on the Nomad 2. So perhaps with a bit of fluctuation in the score and the performance of these players, we might see something interesting and probably very neck to neck that is going to happen right here on the starting map.
It's interesting also, I will say, strategically, over the course of this match now, 3 picks in, we've seen 3 completely different skill sets. You had the aim consistency free mod, and then you went into the low AR reading no mod, and now you're just going into raw speed DT. Like, you are just casting into the depths of the skill sets for each team, trying to, take the measure perhaps of their depth players and of their skill set coverage. So a lot of information to be gained from these 3 particular maps going back to back to back. And in we will go. The GLHFs coming out. Jap White, Jordi Grief, Satsuki, and Flasta for France on their own DT2 pick. Intercamping Alfeu, Chalk Gamer, and Gonza. Chile wishing perhaps that Matthew was on their team for this particular pick, but he is gone from the roster this year. And we will see how they can handle the speed pick that they banned out yesterday without him.
Quad 99 for France and triple 98 for Chile. Slight imbalance in the accuracy, but combo-wise, still looking good. But it is a speed pick, it is a stamina one at that, and things get a little dicey when you start running out of that at the end of the map. Intercamping will be the first one to miss, however.
Watching Intercamping with a little bit of interest. Nearly FC'd on the last pick. Didn't have a great run on the Fremont 3. First to break here on the DT2. So we'll see how his performance continues to unfold over the course of this match. He is so far the only player to have broken, and in the accuracy lead going to France as well. 4 FCs, all right around or above 98 with a very high AC on Japwood and Satsuki. Meanwhile, you got that 96 on Chalk Gamer. That's kind of dragging them down just that little bit more, but mostly the big difference, right? 400-ish combo behind for Intercamping.
This is a very tense 7-way standoff right now between all of the players. 200k in the lead, but 2 misses will not cushion it just enough. Fluster and Jap White now has to hold on and wish for a mistake coming from Chile.
This gets dicey very quickly with this not being a very long map. Only a third or a quarter now left to go, and it's still that triple FC for Chile. There goes Jap White, and this is just going to soar on over to the Chilean side. Alfeu, Gonza, Chalk Gamer all holding on to the FCs. Intercamping recovering from the early break, and it is looking like we're going to see an early break point in this match here. That lead 300k and climbing rapidly. Chile speed perhaps not quite gone yet, as they are looking very strong here on this DT2.
Mistake is all they get, and they fail to capitalize on it. Intercamping with beautiful recovery, and Chile with the 2 musketeers. Alvi and Gonza with the double FC with a 4.1 million team score.
That is a strong performance. This map has lent itself to some strong plays. France 4-way S rank with only 1 FC. You hate to see it, and it's brutal, but sometimes that is what happens. Those slider breaks can be make or break on these straightforward kind of binary maps. And Chile take full advantage, earn themselves break point, 2-1 lead their own pick next, and it's going to be DT3 as the selection, which we talked about, right? One of those maps that these 2 teams did have in common in their matches yesterday. Chile putting up a 3.8 million score on this as the last map, I believe it was, before the tiebreaker, and France putting up a 3.3 million. So Chile may be feeling a little bit more confident on the pick than they feel their opponents will.
Just kinda rolling down the hill with this momentum. DT2 was very clean. I mean, what's better than DT2 than DT3? They are going to see probably the same roster as last time. I mean, 3.8 mil is kind of irreplaceable.
Yeah, that was just a super, super strong team score. So would not anticipate any changes from yesterday's roster on the pick. And then I'm a little interested. This is like, the strategy of it. You win on a reading pick of your own, you win on a speed pick from your opponents. And so you kind of go something, again, a bit different with this kind of alty DT. There is another tapping map available in the pool. There is another reading map available in the pool, but they're saying instead, we like the DT. We want to stay in the DT. And so we'll get the DT3 next here. It's a very interesting kind of chess match with these picks so far throughout this match.
Intercoming and Hanayuma is the one to look out for. The big pieces getting the 2 full combos last time around. Looking forward to see them perform yet again, but France is still a dangerous opposition. So gotta stay very vigilant in that regard. Probably, you could chalk it up as some unlucky misses from some players inside of France. So let's get right into this one. Will be DT3 Glass, the snap alt pick. Plenty of these dangerous overlaps baiting into misread. So once again, gotta stay wide awake.
We do see one roster change from yesterday for this map for France. They're going to bring in Flasta. Yesterday, it was Satsuki as the 4th. He bottom scored, though that was an S rank, no misses. But Flasta may be feeling a little more confident on this on the particular day. And as expected, like you said earlier, Chile running the same roster as they did before, so they are cool, calm, collected, and confident in this 4-man to try and consolidate the break point. In we go. Another pretty short one. A lot of relatively short maps in this pool. A lot of 2 to 2.5 minute picks, it feels. Kind of blink and you'll miss it type of scenario. And there goes Kalangi, the first to break on the side of France. See how long Chile can hold on to the 4-way, what kind of lead they might be able to build up.
Too much instantly with a trade from Alfio. 50k difference. Accuracy still inside of Chile though, but things are gonna slow down as France up with the full combos, a 3v3 situation. Let's see if Intercoming and Hanayume will get the last FC get to their head and kind of affect them mentally. Currently in this first case section, still a 3v3 situation, Steven.
Is indeed. There goes Musty though, and one of those 3 FCs drops for France. Kill Flasta now have to do everything they can to keep their own full combos alive. Triple FC alive for Chile. Good recovery from both Alfiu and Kalangi, who were the early breaks. Chile about a 175k lead, but there goes Hanayume, but Hifkill trades it, so no real damage done to Chile's advantage. 2 FCs left for them, just the one on France. Lead's gonna be comfortable, quarter of the map to go. Chile in a good spot here to try to get that consolidated breakpoint for the 3-1 lead.
Gambling still hot on his seat, but Jock Gamer with the pit stop replacing Hanayume on the full combo run, hitting all of that spike at that one part. Flaste, the 4th player replacement, is currently the highest score for France, but once again, just not enough. It is going to be an improvement for France, but it's also an improvement for Chile as they almost reach 4 million team score, 3-1.
Really solid team performance there from Chile. Double FC on Intercambing and on Chalk Gamer. Just the 1 miss apiece on Alfiu and Hanayume with 850k and just 786k. So just good scores across the board. I mean, and it's like you said, France improved their score as well. It's not like they did poorly, but didn't have that second FC, didn't have that 800k, or didn't have, the 3rd player over 800k as well. So just a little bit behind in a couple of spots, and that's all it takes to, maintain the gap in favor of Chile. So 3-1 goes the score. We're going to get into that scary territory in the group here in just a little bit, unless France can pull this one back. They do have their own pick next, going into the Fremont 3 first, DT2 second. Lost that one, so they're going to go somewhere else, of course. It's going to be the Hard Rock 1 Alien Friend request, our Melon Boy Hard Rock 1 aim pick. And yeah, they won the Fremont 3 super comfortably on the aim, so I expected them to go into aim at some point again in this match, and here it is.
They tried being brave, venture the fog, but gonna return empty-handed, so home sweet home it is. It is indeed the Melon Boy Hot Rock 1 with quite the banging song. and quite excited to see here. Plenty of sliders where you can drop lots and lots of accuracy on. So once again, very scary of a map, but France can aim.
France can aim indeed, and the question will be whether or not Chile can pick up their own aim after being beaten relatively handily on the earlier aim pick. And of course, this one Hard Rock required rather than being in that Fremont pool. And it did feel like, the Fremont 3 a little bit more tricky on the Hard Rock for those players. So we'll see how everyone's comfort level is on the Hard Rock primary pick. But this feels like a little bit of a must-win here if you're France, right? Best of 9, already down 3-1. You drop another break point, and all of a sudden you're faced with match points the rest of the way through. Gotta win this pick if you are this French team, if you want really a decent feeling chance of winning the match.
Nice to see if Galen must definitely be the hotter player for France, but seems like the fourth player is still up for debate, but no longer. VI is stepping in to do the job himself. Good luck, have fun. It is time to accept that friend request.
Here we go. If an alien sent me a friend request, I'm pretty sure I would be smashing accept on that bad boy. Like, who doesn't want to be friends with an alien, bro? It'd be sick.
You know what? That is true. Kinda scared of the outer space though, but you know what?
There's a Victor Wembanyama joke to be made here about the whole alien thing, especially with it being France that's playing. But I'll probably get made fun of if I make basketball references. So maybe I won't go too deep into that. Gonna be an early break from Hana Yume to start things off. First 100 combo, not gonna be too meaningful, especially with Kalangi following it up.
Indeed, some accuracy problem on Kalangi in particular, but V3, nothing to complain just yet from both sides. Fairly early into the map as we are just kind of strolling by. But it seems, is it just me or?
No, this
Okay.
map, I think it's because of all the kick sliders, has had a lot of problems with banjo misses and lag and stuff. I'm fairly sure it's the kick sliders because that's it's their banjo misses. You see them. It's kick sliders.
Yeah. For now though, it is indeed a bunch of miscount from Lasse, and France definitely quaking in their boots, but Hatime finds the miss down to a 3v2, so France some more life in this position. Can they recover from this slight mishaps, to say the least?
It's going to be those two FCs got a hold, going to be feeling a little bit of the pressure perhaps. Meanwhile, Chile with the momentum on their side, and this, is playing with house money at this point. You're on your opponent's pick, and you've already got the break point in pocket. So now you're just thinking, let's go out and put our best foot forward, knowing that you've already got the advantage. And they're playing pretty free and laid back right now, it appears. You got a triple FC with reasonable lack on all of them, coming into that crazy finger control kick slider jump section here. No breaks anywhere in the lobby, not even a banjo miss. That's very impressive stuff. Literally no misses through that pattern is really, really good play from all 8.
Despite the triple full combo, the difference is still 100k, so Chile still not too safe just yet. There's the tail of the tortoise and the hare, but both of them are there and pretty speedy, so...
Musty, no! Oh, that was heartbreaking to watch that miss. I feel such sorrow, and there goes Fie as well. And, you mentioned the lead being relatively small despite everything, and that's not going to be the case for long, as it's going to shoot up to 300k and above into the last section of the map. There is a break from Lasse, but it's intercamming in Sifs, still on the FC. It's Hana Yume still on the recovery, and it's going to be Chile taking a second break point here, it looks like, for a 4-1 lead. And things are now very, very scary for Team France in this match.
Definitely not in the dangers of being eliminated, but you kinda want to be in the win side of things. Hefkill is still doing his best, but the war is over. Chile has won their 4th point on this Hard Rock 1.
That is a super solid team performance from Team Chile. Intercamming really showing up and locking in there, as well as Sifs with the S rank, just the very late slider break from him. And again, solid backing scores there from Lase and from Hanayume. On the other side, it's Hifkill, matches the FC from Intercamming, but unfortunately that one miss from Musty, the real difference maker on the map. If he holds the FC, this one is about as close as it gets. Unfortunately, just not meant to be. And an instant pick here from Chile. They're saying, we got 4-1, we got match points, we want free mod 1 right now. We are going to put an exclamation mark on this match.
This is going to be quite the interesting pick indeed. Haven't really seen any tech, but kind of implied regarding the number 4 band coming from France, so it is quite a logical conclusion.
I think this is the first time I personally will have seen this map. It's been a little less common, but if you're a team that gets tech banned against you, here's your other tech map. I don't know. I'm curious to see how this is gonna go. It's a skill set we really haven't seen in this match at all, of course, since there's 2.5 tech maps in the pool, and one of which is banned. So we'll get it loaded in. And I mean, really, who doesn't love Jizag tech maps anyway? Like, it's just circle tech banger after circle tech banger.
I wholeheartedly agree, but you know, feeling a bit evil, he's gonna edit it down to Air 9.2, give that a bit of that spice for the Nomaton Hidden, not letting them have too much fun. The other players, kind of self-explanatory. Kind of saw Brazil going double hard rock on this map in particular, and they actually won that against Sweden, so probably not gonna see anything spicy like that in this match. Probably gonna see normal hidden and hard rock, you know. But other than that, this is quite exciting, I suppose. I mean, to be fair, Nomad 4 is purely a bit of a slight slider spam with slider tick check, so this being a flow tech could put a wrench into Chile's plan.
Yeah, definitely two very different types of tech pick. But Chile hoping to feel comfortable perhaps on this particular one, and we're gonna see. I am curious as to what we get for mods, if we do see more hard rock over modding at all, for players who think that this map at 9.2 is just a little tricky to read. As we get everybody in, looks like we should be set. Intercamming, No 37, Alpha U, Chalk Gamer, Musty, Satsuki, Fie, and Kalangi trying to keep France alive, at least one more pick in this match. Because, you know, if they lose this, it's not the end of the world. It just makes the group a little bit more chaotic. France winning this would ensure they're a top 2 in the group, but if they lose, then it comes down to the remaining matches. So every map gets just that little bit of extra importance here in this group stage. As we see, No 37 on Hidden, Chalk Gamer on Hard Rock against Fie on Hidden, and Musty on Hard Rock for France. And we are underway, Chile on their first match point of this matchup.
Match point on the board. Just needing one more, and Intercamming with an early slip, but again, not too much of a problem. Perhaps the method to miss early and hit everything else to ease the nerves. 5k difference, nothing much to talk about, but a topic will soon come up as we go into the actual map itself.
Things always get interesting quick in these types of maps. The circle tech comes in, and this map has really started in earnest now. Let's see how comfortable everybody's aim is on these tricky cut patterns and flow streams. Number 37, the next to fall. It's still the 4-way for France. And is this maybe a bit of a mispick as Alpha U goes down next as well? It's only the FC left Is it FC on both intercamming and chalking, or was that a Bancho miss early from intercamming? So it's 4 against 2 in
It's
favor.
Bancho, yeah. Yeah. 250k difference. France is not letting anything get away. No more 4 ban was nothing but just that, a ban. It does not imply that they're bad at free mode 1 because currently they are rocking at triple 700k thus far, a fraction of the map remaining. Chile walking into a French bakery, and all they serve is a bit of pain, and pain they get. 3.5 million has been reached. The triple full combo will be a statement.
That is an insane team score. 3.8 million triple FC, including the hidden player. The only player to miss was Musty on the Hard Rock, which is a reasonably difficult mod on that, but man, what a team score, especially with your backs against the wall down those match points. To pull that out on your opponent's pick is a really crazy clutch performance. And France now maybe can start to get a little momentum going to claw their way back into this match. They've still got to escape 2 more match points, but if they can continue putting up scores like that, it might just be possible.
Of a difficult task nonetheless, they'll gotta worry about their own pick. And lastly, another one of Chile's. Namoto is still open, enticing Chile to go the mechanics route once more. However, can't really worry too much about the future when you still have a present problem. France, what are they gonna go for here? Their option is very, very limited.
Boy, yeah. There's the Nomad 2 up, there's the DT1 up. If you want to try the tapping gambit again, or if you want to go back into the lone really aimy pick that's left, I don't think you go hidden pool, right? And I don't think you go precision, but you could, which would be, you know, either the Nomad 5 or the Hard Rock 2. I don't think either of those feels great here for France. Is it weird that I think like DT1 might actually be their best option? I mean, it's just not that fast. It's not AR greater than 10. It's pretty much raw aim with just a couple of bursts. And France looked pretty darn good on that free mod 3.
Hidden 2?
Or it could just be hidden 2. Okay, you get eviscerated on Nomad 3, but you're picking hidden 2 yourselves. I'm not really sure I follow this one like that.
Okay, on the fronter, I do see the vision in free mod 3, you know. Awkward aim is all the topic in that map. If you go DT1, Chile is much more comfortable on those kinds of aim. This hidden 2, while it is AR8, not too much on the reading, and there's plenty, plenty of those awkward aims, those linears, and I think this might be what France is going for with that aim-centric pick. Bit of a stretch probably, but I see the vision.
I like the positivity. I respect the hope. You know, there's always a line to be found, right? There's always, you know, the path through the forest, and perhaps you've just laid it out for us. I don't know, man. Chile looked real scary on that Nomad 3 is all I'm trying to say. But maybe, just maybe, that's that exact path. If they can avoid everything in their way, that France could find a victory on this pick. They need it. They gotta have it.
Oh boy. It is coconut love there, so I think basically all 8 of our players has played this in for a variety of pool, at least 7 times, so I do think that this is basically guaranteed FC if they haven't mind blocked it already.
That's unfortunately quite an if. You never want to, you know, it's like you want to have confidence, right? And you want to have hope in the players, but it's also like under the circumstances, that's a big task. Looks like we should be set though, so we're gonna find out. You know, do we get those FCs? Does anybody have that mind block? We're gonna see. The Chile chefs are coming out. It's match point number 2 here for Chile. Can they close the match out with a break point since they weren't able to do it on their own pick?
here we go, the low AR awkward aim France. This is their last pick against Chile. They have something to prove. We're all witnessing it. All the pressure is on them to perform right here, right now.
Boy, picking this into Gonza is just terrifying. I just need to say. Listen to him. Oh, man. Well, the comfort appears to be there in the early goings. No breaks in the first couple hundred combo as of yet. Accuracy coming back up after a few early 100s for intercamping and Alpheu. Everybody else looking pretty good. The awkward little aim patterns, the awkward little slider patterns. Not tripping anybody up. A whole bunch of hundreds there from Musty and a big break from Kalangi. And that is going to be Chile into the lead 4Cs to 3.
Oh! There's Alpheu with the miss.
And Gonza! Oh, ball
Oh god! Oh my! Wait, 2v3, hold the front door. Are they cooking T1G? They might no ball.
This is just coming out and saying we are actually good at this skill set from France. Even with the act drops from Musty manages to recover and intercamping the next to fall, and it's now just Sips with the FC for Chile. Meanwhile, it's a single. Okay, that's a whole bunch of breaks. That's BA falling, that's Musty falling. It's Flastev versus Sips on the lone FC's left. The score gap still under 100k, and you have recovery combos. The last FC gone for France. What can Sips do? He is in the driver's seat in this match. All the pressure on his shoulders, trying to hold as long as possible to close this out for Chile. Can he do it with the support of his team around him?
The linear, that might just be the lock to seal this away, but hold the front door. The door is still open. Hope is still there. 60k difference. One last section, but PA finds the miss. Kalangi with the 470 combo. France with the bunch of miss coming from Flastev, but not a bunch of miss from Musty. Last slider stream. Last few barrages of jumps intercoming. We will find the miss. Gonza as well. Alpheu the triple slider break. 100k difference. Kalangi unable to hold on. There is no combo. There is no firepower, and there is hold. Never mind.
It comes down to 28k but Chile holds on, clinging to their lead by their fingertips, and they pull it off. Oh, what a map. Oh, what a map that was. And France, heartbreaking, but Chile will get the win. It's a 5-2 score, and this group just got really interesting, man.
Oh god. I don't wanna even think about the implication of this result. It's gonna be a mess.
Yeah, so I can do that for you. First of all, we want to congratulate Chile on the win. Well done to them against a France team that looked incredibly strong against Italy yesterday. Chile looked a little out of sorts, losing that tiebreaker against Spain, but showing here today that they've still got what it takes to get through the group stage. They are now 1-1 in the group. France is now 1-1 in the group. France's point differential goes to +2. Chile's, guess what, also goes to +2. They are perfectly tied with Chile holding the head-to-head. And next up, Chile will have Italy, which appears, based on Italy's first two performances where they didn't get a single point, it looks like Chile versus Italy should be a pretty straightforward win for Chile if they can keep this up. In which case, France versus Spain isn't until next Sunday, and will have so many effects on the group, and we'd have to wait a week for it.
That is one way to make this group a cliffhanger, but well, I suppose that's for the future, as Chile gotta worry about yet again another match. They're going back to back, and I think against is it Italy? Might be lying right now. It is Italy, okay.
Italy, yep. And they literally back to back. It's 10 minutes from now on this very same stream. It's Chile versus Italy.
Oh my god. Well,